Hey everybody, welcome back. We had some technical difficulties. Basically, my gigabit internet died, and we were just in the middle of talking about the Santa Clara County Sheriff coming up on charges, and Amanda was in the middle of talking about it, and all of a sudden, poof! I have no internet. So, yeah. What I need to do now is to get social media connected back up, and hopefully we can continue a regular show. We got, I would say, probably about 15 to 20 minutes left. But Amanda, let's we've got Santa Clara and we've got the other story covered. Let's focus a little bit, if we could, on Ohio. And the third story I had pulled up was from our friend Tom Knighton over at Bearing Arms. Akron, Ohio police have novel way of stopping crime. It appears that novel way is focusing on criminals that shouldn't have guns and arresting them when they do.
Imagine that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, the funny part is you sent me that, and Akron is in Ohio, and I am in Ohio, and I was like, hey. But Akron is actually the town where my day job is, and so I'm there a lot because they kind of make you, you know what I mean. But we haven't seen, though the numbers show the crime is going down, you really haven't seen it in town awareness or reputation, but that is an extremely good thing, because Akron was starting to be a town that at least segments of it were taken over by, we'll just say that scantily clad ladies in venues that had unique names.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a crock of cheese.
Yeah, something there, yeah. It was so it had started there was this area, and it was starting to get a name for itself for that. And so we'll see how this goes, but anything that allows you to punish the lawbreakers while not scooping up and punishing the law-abiding at the same time, because, what God sorted out kind of concept, I'm all for it. It's an amazing thing.
Absolutely. Let me get, and we've got the comments just come chugging in now that we're back.
Where were you?
Yeah. Where'd you go? Get some of these. I'm gonna throw these in kind of rapid fire. Robert says, "Welcome back." And then he says, I call them ID10T errors. Yeah. And if you put that all together and say it quick, you know what he's talking about. And it's probably applicable, probably very applicable. And this is a good one. Charlie Chambers says, psychiatrists agree that a narcissistic personality disorder cannot be treated. It can only be voted out of office.
That's good.
Let's hope.
I love his friend Argus Hamilton. I mean, the stuff that comes out is just humorous.
Let's hope, going back to that story about the sheriff in Santa Clara County, California, that she gets, if not arrested out of office, at least voted out of office. Mm-hmm. In California, that's not entirely guaranteed that she will be.
No.
And Robert says, going to the Ohio story, no way, holding people responsible for their own actions? What a novel approach!
I love it. I do.
So, talking about Ohio, where we're just days away from Ohio wrapping up the 2021 legislative session. Ohio is one of the states where they go all year long. But 2021 is going to wrap up, and then a few days later they'll start the 2022 session. But real noise I'm hearing out of Ohio that constitutional carry could come before Ohio gets to be the 40th state.
Right, I know, and I just don't understand that. But yeah, so what came out today, and Buckeye Firearms shared the news, is that it had passed the House recently. It went to the Senate. It came out of the Senate committee. Then it went to a full Senate vote today, passed the full Senate vote, and then it's now got to go back to the House because the Senate modified it slightly. And I fully expect the governor to vote for it. He does have an R by his name, but I'm going to say that he's running for re-election. He's got a couple people hot on his tail, and so he is going to he's going to be primaried, and so he is going to prove that he's a Second Amendment governor.
So you expect him to sign it, but you're not holding your breath, is what I'm hearing.
Oh no, he'll sign it, but he's only signing it because he's running for office.
Oh, okay.
That would be otherwise not. He makes so many anti-gun statements and anti-gun promises that are counter to how he ran for office.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Whoops. George says
so
this.
Paul thinks it's funny, but he's not sharing it with us. I'm just going to say that to all the rest of you guys. So we'll just go socially laugh.
Yeah, there you go. Santa Clara Sheriff belongs in jail, George says. And Robert, wrong button. Robert says that Rhino Fudd for the Ohio, I'm assuming this is for the Ohio governor. Yeah, we'll take the signature on constitutional carry however it comes.
I'm just going to say that if you don't know what the Ohio governor looks like, he is a very short-statured man with giant glasses. So much more it looks like Foghorn Leghorn's sidekick. As opposed to Elmer Fudd.
Okay.
But I get the Fudd thing.
Okay. So, at some level, delving deep into politics, and I hate to keep bringing up my own personal politics, but I am a registered Republican. I've held office in the Republican Party in South Dakota in the past. I consider myself
a Central Committee member, or what? What was your...
I was a precinct chairperson.
Got it.
And my personal beliefs I am dead center libertarian. I worked for and I vote Republican. But I don't like the extremes of either party. I don't like the Democrats, mostly because they think they know everything about what you need to do with your life. The Republicans, however, the Democrats think you're too stupid to work on to be able to do anything on your own. The Republicans generally think you're too much of a heathen to live on your own. If you could get them to buckle down and be honest, most of the high level, and I'm not talking local, I'm not talking your state reps, I'm talking high level Republicans, national level. If you were to get them to honestly admit what they'd love to ban alcohol, all drugs would be gone. There would be jail sentences for admitting you're gay. There would be, they don't trust you to do with your own body anything. It could be the death penalty if you get caught with cocaine. I think myself, Paul Lathrop, what you do with your body, you do what's best for you. Leave me the heck alone to do what's best for me. And the Republican Party, much more closely fits that than the Democratic Party does, and that's why I work for the Republican Party.
No, I kind of get that. It's and the libertarians, it's just a shame that they set the rules in such a manner to where it's a two-party system, and a third party has to work so hard to be included at all. They've just set the rules to where a third party has to have so many signatures, has to have so much more. The bar is so much higher for a third party candidate.
Absolutely. Going back to the discussion about Ohio's governor, Robert, who by the way is from New Jersey, says, "I'll still trade for my governor plus a future draft pick." Bingo! Love that one. But Robert, my governor is not. Kristi Noem is not in the draft. We've got her locked down in South Dakota, and she's going to stay here. So yeah,
she's going to run as president or vice president. The country's getting her.
I sincerely hope not. I sincerely hope not.
I think it's going to be a DeSantis Noem ticket.
Yeah. Charlie Chambers says both parties try to ban, but in different areas of life. They are both overreaching in living our lives. Yeah.
Oh, I don't disagree with that. I mean, it's really what you hope for is you get someone who says, I'm a constitutionalist, I'm not this or I'm not that. I'm a conservative, I'm not this, I'm not that. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Well, we are overtime for the half hour, but we did have that break when we had my internet
we've had a couple
died.
And your internet's frozen up also at least once.
Yeah.
So things are happening. You're going through the big windstorm there in South Dakota, and so we're gonna be sitting here, and all of a sudden Paul's screen is gonna go black. Is what's gonna happen next. So.
Well, right now in South Dakota, we've got 60 to 80 mile an hour wind gusts, and so a squirrel may fly by, and supposedly the cables are all buried here, but if the squirrel hits the right trajectory into the frozen ground, you never know what happens.
You never know.
So, yeah, Robert, you're going to get me in trouble here. I figured you'd have another 25 minutes. Well,
exactly.
No.
You know, the thing is the interesting stories that you have today, talking about constitutional carry. What was the first state? It was A. Alabama?
The first state that got attention for getting constitutional carry was Arizona. New Hampshire has always had it.
This story that you started off.
Oh, Alabama is the one that's going to
Alabama.
Is the one that's probably going to get it early next year.
So Alabama is racing Ohio for the 22nd spot. We'll see where that is. But constitutional carry, it's so amazing. Even when we think that we're losing in the fights for the Second Amendment, you start to look at the stuff that's happening on the state level. It really is. Here's what I'm going to call is going to happen soon, and I don't know what the topic is going to be, but there is going to be a states' rights issue that comes up that the states just say, okay, I've had it. I'm done. I'm completely at the end. And at first I thought it was going to be medical marijuana or just marijuana. And then I thought it was going to be the guns. You know, and it may be that it's the COVID lockdowns and the mandatory vaccinations. You know, I don't know, but there's going to be a spot soon where the states have had it and they're just not going to be pushed around anymore. And so I think that, I think on the Daily Bullet, you probably ought to start asking every one of your guests what they think is going to happen in 2022, you know, kind of leading into the new year.
We're getting to that time, aren't we?
We really are. So I'm going to start this. I'm going to start this trend, and then you can continue it on from here. But I'm going to say that 2022 may just be the year that we have the battle of states' rights versus federal rights, because it's coming, and it's coming at us like a freight train.
You know, that's worrisome for me. The last time we had a really big battle for states' rights versus federal rights, we ended up with two nations for a little bit. One of them was the Confederate States of America.
Right.
I don't want that.
Yeah. I don't want brother fighting brother, but I also don't want big brother telling every little state what to do.
Yeah.
So there's a spot where the little brother has to say, I'm done. I am done, and you're not the boss of me anymore.
Yeah. And this is gonna. Now, because this came to mind, we may end up, Robert, going 25 minutes. So
you're welcome.
I want to. This is not. This is tangentially related because it goes to federalism, but I want everybody to remember back to the the mid 1970s. Hopefully, well, I can remember back that far, but if you're much younger than me, you won't. The national speed limit went to 55 miles an hour, and most of the states, yeah, okay, no problem. My home state of South Dakota said, yeah, we don't think so. Federal government said, well, if you want to keep your funding for roadways, you need to change your speed limit to 55 miles an hour. South Dakota said, yeah, you just send us the check. So the federal government did. South Dakota said, thank you for the check. We're going to keep our 70 mile an hour speed limit. Federal government took them to court. Federal government won. What I'm looking forward to, what I'm hoping the state, if this happens again, and it comes down to gun rights, for example, the ad we run at the beginning of every show, Amanda, if you don't mind, I'm just going to run this right now to prove my point. Hang on, just because it's got Joe Biden's voice in it. Just a second.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have vowed to take away your Second Amendment rights through gun bans, gun confiscation, and government regulations. Now, Joe Biden is no longer hiding his real intentions, and we need you to take action now.
Whether it's a 9mm pistol or whether it's a rifle is ridiculous. I'm continuing to push to eliminate the sale of those things. But
the Biden administration is coming after your right to own any gun. Joe Biden has already issued executive orders.
So if Joe Biden were to get his wish, the elimination of 9mm handguns and rifles, AR-15 pattern rifles, there are going to be states, I would expect South Dakota to be among them, I would expect Texas to be among them, to say, I don't think so. And the federal government, well, if you want your federal funding, then you better comply. And I want the state to say, if you want us to send your federal dollars to you, you better knock it off. That's where
exactly it. Because it's not their money. They're giving back that state's money.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doling it out, and they're keeping a portion for themselves and then giving the rest back. So just don't send it.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to be relevant and continue getting money from our citizens, you'd better step in line. Exactly.
Right. Exactly. I'm watching it. I'm waiting. We're going to see what happens.
All right.
So, and I'm going to challenge all of you listeners to tomorrow night ask the same question. Who's the guest tomorrow night?
Tomorrow is Mike Piwowarski.
Okay, so all y'all, you ask Mike what his, to have him put his little Swami hat on.
Get his crystal ball out. Absolutely.
Right.
Robert says, I've got a grand in order. Let's see how that works out for them. Robert, careful, dude. The New Jersey legislature is working on a 50 caliber ban. Not far after that comes 30 cal. Yeah, you're Garen, man. That's and I brought this up when we discussed. I brought this up briefly. I want to know the last time a 7-Eleven was taken down by somebody toting a Barrett. It seems like it's a law searching for a problem.
Yep, you bet. It's a photo op.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, Amanda, thank you for being patient, for staying an extra 10 minutes when my internet bombed. And everybody watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming back. And thank you for being patient with me. So come join me again tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central Time. Mike Piwowarski is the guest commentator tomorrow. And Friday, Alex Uli joins us again. Thanks for watching, everybody.
See ya.